Alrighty, hello civics students. Happy Tuesday. So we're kind of introducing and starting off the second part of Unit 2. In the first part of Unit 2, we were just looking at different types of governments and how could you measure the effectiveness of those different governmental systems in terms of their social, political, and economic impact on their citizens. Today, we're kind of focus in on the specifics of the COVID response, and in particular, we're going to be using those same standards that we were using before, evaluating institutions' effectiveness standard, and then also integrating information standards. So, looking at charts and data and things. There's an entry task to start off with that's just kind of asking, how would we go about measuring the government's response to the COVID pandemic? And then our learning target is asking us to brainstorm questions. So using the new vocab that's below, you're going to pose questions in a Canvas discussion, brainstorming questions that will help us to evaluate the effectiveness of the U.S. government's response. Okay, so I did post two things here. There was kind of two parts to the COVID pandemic, the public health crisis as well as the economic crisis. Here's some of the policies that the government put in place to address both aspects of the crises. We have school and business closures, masking mandates, COVID testing. Of course, developing a vaccine was probably the most important thing. On the economic side, there was stimulus checks to help cover costs, the Paycheck Protection Program to keep people employed. And what we want to do with this guided practice now is to start look at some of these charts to see, what was the public health and economic impact of COVID. I should mention. Just the seriousness or the potential emotional challenge that can come with taking a look at this most recent pandemic that we all lived through. And so I just want to kind of highlight the fact that we all did live through this, and that members of our family might have been impacted either for their health or or even their life or their economic livelihood. And so while we're taking kind of a step back and looking at the big picture, individually and for good reason, this can be a very challenging topic. So after we look at this, at a couple of graphs about the economic and the public health impact on the U.S. And compare it to other countries, we're then going to take a quick look at these new vocabulary terms here, and you'll then click this little reply button down here to brainstorm a question that you'd like to get answered while we're studying the effectiveness of the government's response. We're going to do this pretty quick. So today is the intro and the hook. Tomorrow, which is an asynchronous day, will be content exploration. There'll be articles and videos for you to explore. And then we'll have an assessment and a discussion before winter break. So it's all going to be, 4 days, nice and tight. Just wrap it up real quick. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Really look forward to working with you on this.